Damn, everyone. Back at it again with the podcast.
The ill behaviour.
Buddy.
I'm memeing it up, you know. That's what I do.
Oh.
The hip new meme.
Yeah.
See, I went with like old school rap song. I didn't go with current generation meme.
How old are you?
To the nearest 100?
Ideally.
To the nearest 100, we're all
zero.
the same age.
You're listening to the TurboPals podcast.
We're back in business. It's only been about a 14, 15 month hiatus.
That's nothing.
There's enough to give us a break. Think of some more subjects, some more topics
Gold.
to talk about. Some gold. No, we're over that.
So,
He didn't hear that bit. It's out of context.
So welcome back, everyone who is listening. All three of you. We're trying this TurboPals podcast thing again. I will introduce everyone and then talk a little bit about what's happening. Just because someone needs to lead this thing, and it might as well be the guy with the biggest ego in the room. So this is the TurboPals podcast. What I've decided since is that as the two most available and loudest people, TurboPals is me and Eddie. And then feet whoever else is in the room. Hello. That's Eddie. So joining me today is, as per usual, Eddie Bowley.
Hello.
And today we have Chloe Dungay. Could you have timed that cough at any other point?
No.
Good. Right.
May it live in infamy.
So theoretically now we are live on the new, the old actually.
Not live.
We are live. This video has gone live on the TurboPals YouTube channel because we used to put them on SoundCloud, but then we realized you could only have 3 episodes on SoundCloud before it started deleting the old ones. Fantastic.
Not so good for a podcast, really.
No, not really. And yeah, I don't really know how people listen to podcasts, because if Game Grumps can put out, you know, these ridiculously long videos and people will listen to them, then damn it, we can too. We don't have cutesy video game graphics. Maybe I should just play video games and record an hour of it and then just put it over the podcast.
So every now and then when you just say something vaguely game related.
Yeah. Oh, that's a goal.
What a shot. What a gun.
Oh.
There's a leopard on the roof.
Headshot.
Look at that video game.
Yes.
Perfect. So, yes, it has been a while since we did one of these. So, a lot has happened. A lot. I have gained and lost 3 stone. I'm probably the exact weight I was when we stopped doing TurboPals last time. So,
right.
I've achieved nothing physically.
When exactly did we stop? Well, not stop, but when did we pause TurboPals?
I think November 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Has been a long time.
Yeah, and around then I was about exactly the way I am now, so go me.
Progress.
Since then I have started a new weight loss series, failed it, and then started it again. So hurrah. Eddie, what's happened to you in the past? Big things have happened to you since the last TurboPals.
Yeah, well, I quit my job. I quit my office 9-to-5 job, and I've come to work for you, Tom.
Oh dear.
I'm living the dream. I'm now a full-fledged freelance writer as my profession. I now no longer feel that little pang of embarrassment when people say, "So, what do you do for a living?" And I'm like, well, I mean, I work in a vague accounts job that no one will ever understand, and I'm already bored of this sentence. Please just talk to someone else now.
I love the idea that you were ashamed of having a real job. And now you're proudly I write internet videos.
Well, it's true though, because I knew that was what I really wanted to do. You know, it's that was so prevalent in my life anyway. Every other evening of work, I'd come here to write with you, and that meant more to me, and working on Eddsworld and stuff like that. I was doing that in my free time as well. So it's I was always doing this stuff anyways. It was more like my job was a distraction from my real job, which was doing this stuff, and so now it is my real job.
It's nice to know that it's never too late to achieve your dreams, even at the ripe old age of 50. 70.
You know, it's a weird
old?
thing.
To the nearest 100.
It is weird. I always forget my age. I never forget my birthday, but I always forget my own age. So I have to go. Wait. I'm 33. 33. Yes. So I'm 30. Yes, I am 33. I'm 34 this year.
You really are a YouTuber now. Not my fault. I forgot my age.
Oops. What's that age? What is an age?
It's just a number, which I don't remember. So
Time is relative.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty wild that you're doing the thing that you want to do now. Like I don't know, I kind of feel like we were more productive when you had to come from your other job. I mean, I can safely say that the past 2 days we've been sat here trying to write one script, and we have knocked out roughly a page. Yeah, we're going through a really tough time right now in terms of script writing because we are finishing off Eddsworld, or at least finishing off Eddsworld Legacy, and it's we've got the big finale episode, the end, part 1 and part 2, and I can't write anything else. I can't I will literally we'll be like, okay, I'm going to write a sentence. Oh, let's check Twitter, see how people are thinking about Eddsworld, and then I'll be like, we'll write another sentence, and then we'll be like, oh, I have an idea for a new poster design, or you'll be like, let's incorporate this new person into the finale.
Yeah, or we have a message from an animator, and it's we need to answer them now because they literally can't work unless we answer their questions, stuff like that. So, it's just become kind of life consuming at the moment. Yeah. Just trying to get these. And
it's also like
the
harsh truth is it's also like super toxic for me to sound very Tumblr. Is it because Eddsworld has been while I am still very proud of what we've done, it has been this huge emotional drain, and it's so weird to kind of be kind of wrapping up what I set out to achieve, because I think it's got warped over the years that I was supposed to be running Eddsworld forever, when I never said that. Right from the get-go I was like, I want to give Eddsworld another year. This was in 2012. I want to give Eddsworld another year. I want to give it a proper send-off. These are the words I use, and if you go on the Eddsworld Indiegogo, it's like the caption is 1 more year of Eddsworld. And it's kind of twisted now that everyone just expects me to be running the show indefinitely, and it's just really tired. I'm tired, you guys.
Well, I guess it's because that was obviously overly ambitious to try and to cram in that much amount of work, not just from your sake, but also Paul's sake as well, to try and get all that done on top of grieving.
It was just it was me and Paul, really. Obviously I was the driving force, but I think we were both equally stupid when we came about this, when we started the Eddsworld Legacy thing. So I was like, Paul, how many episodes do you reckon we can do in a year? And also shorts. And he was like, I don't know, 4. We can do 4. And I was like, how much money? And he'll be like, this is enough money. And then it just became abundantly clear straight away, like, oh my god, this was not. This is half the money we needed.
So I feel like
we've and then it was half the money we needed, and then the amount that the perks cost, and then oh god, never again. I will never do it. Well, no, I would like to do another Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, just not, but only when Eddsworld's done. Only when I can say I've done it now.
Yeah, I think also because it was pledged it would be 1 year, and then it wasn't done in a year, had to go to year 2 and then year 3, and we're in year 4.
We're not in year 4 yet. We technically, Eddsworld Legacy will end before it hits year 4, because Eddsworld Legacy kicks off in August. I think obligation.
Alright, we want to get technical. It's 3 and a bit.
3.5 years.
But
I'm okay.
So I think from that, people have now forgotten there was an Indiegogo. They've forgotten that there was this fundraiser to keep the episodes going, because every now and again there'll be a comment saying you should stop making this now,
we don't have a choice.
We have an obligation to, at the very least, to complete the legacy as we pledged.
Honestly, the truth is, if I hadn't done the Indiegogo, and I wish I hadn't, honestly I wish I had just actually paid for it out of my own pocket, because it would have been a much bigger financial burden, but it would have also been much less of an emotional burden, because we would have still been doing it because we wanted to and not because we had to. But I probably would have skipped a couple episodes, and then we would have just gone kind of straight to the end. I love Fun Dead, really proud of Fun Dead.
Yeah.
Space Face, Fun Dead, and then it would probably been the end. We probably would have skipped Lunatics and Power Ed.
Not that there was any problem with Lunatics or Power Ed. I'm still enormously proud of everything. But I know what you're saying. If it was done more in our control, then we'd have probably made fewer episodes than anticipated, but then bitten off more than we can chew.
That's the story of Eddsworld Legacy. The documentary was supposed to be this 8 to 10 minute, little here's how I made the show kind of thing, to be filmed over a year. And here we are, nearly 3 years later, and it's this 40-minute documentary with a CGI narrator, with it's just mad. It's just stupid.
I think at the same time, you say you regret doing the Kickstarter. You would pay out of your own pocket, but I think the other factor was the fact that so many people wanted to help. So many people felt helpless and wanted in some way to help. I was one of those people. This was before I was ever brought on to Eddsworld, and I too was like, I want to do something. I don't know what I can do. There was nothing I could do. So the fundraiser felt right, because it was like, finally there's like a group collective thing we can do. The Ed heads can come together and actually accomplish something together in memory.
You know, to be honest, I'd rather have, just been like, you know what you can do to help? Donate money in Ed's name. Like that, like just let's cut out the middleman bit. Just donate money. And then every year we'll have like a meetup where we celebrate how much money we've raised and that kind of thing. Like that, but and who knows, maybe we'd have still raised the same amount of money. But anyway, that's a quick little detour about Eddsworld. More importantly, let's talk to Chloe, who we haven't actually introduced yet.
Hello.
So, Chloe Dungate, YouTube name Scarf Demon.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Shut up.
The panic.
So Chloe, what have you been up to the past year and a bit? I heard that you changed jobs as well.
I have. I was working for Save the Children, and then I saved a child, and I thought, well, we're done here.
How did you save a child?
I went to Uganda with Musical Bethan.
You invited me, but they wouldn't let me go because I'm too #edgy.
Yes, you were a inverted commas risk.
He was not going to save the children. He was going to scare the children.
Like, because I basically went forward with a bunch of YouTubers who would be good ambassadors, good people for me to go with because I got along with them and they have, however many subscribers. I put forward this list, and someone actually had to carry out a risk assessment on everyone on that list, and you're at the top. And I believe they started doing the risk assessment around the same time you made the video about the missing baby.
Yeah, so
you didn't get to go to Uganda with me, but Musical Bethan did. And while we were out there, we were visiting Save the Children's program work, because they do stuff with healthcare. And I've forgotten it all. I've deliberately forgotten everything that they do.
The traumatic experience.
Well, it was part of you leaving the job. It's like, we have to wipe you now.
So I can't remember what we went out there for. But we were out there, and when we were out there, we went to interview a girl.
My understanding was that you were there to raise awareness of sadness. Essentially,
yeah.
You weren't there to raise money or to actually help anyone. You were there to bring awareness to YouTube of just issues.
Yep, essentially, and to tweet David Cameron. Oh, hello. There he is now.
I'm very popular. It's my mate David. He said, "What is you saying, bro?"
Tell him we're going to Nando's.
It's very cheeky.
It's very cheeky. We're going to have a cheeky Nando's. Should I carry on or wait for you to
Please carry on.
Okay. We went to interview a girl who was younger than Bethan. She was 17. And she had a baby. No, she had 2 babies. So we went to interview her, talk to her about what her life was like, talk about what healthcare was like. When we got there, she was just dying of malaria.
Jesus.
Just straight up dying of malaria. So we were like, well, let's not interview you. Let's take you to a hospital. But because healthcare is privatised in Uganda, which is part of the campaign...
The way it should be, I think.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's definitely...
healthcare, top notch.
I guess in the Ugandan junior doctors were just lazy and just
just
paid too much.
Taking enough shifts and nurses.
We're getting political.
Weekend work.
We're getting a bit...
Everyone who isn't aware of British politics is like, these guys are dickheads. So anyway,
what was I saying?
You took the girl with malaria to the hospital.
Because it's all privatised. Even if we took her to the hospital, she wouldn't have been able to afford any treatment on her own because she made a grand total of £5 a year.
Fuck.
A year.
Fuck me, Dad.
How many subscribers does she have? 2? Her 2 kids?
Less than 10,000. So she basically doesn't exist. More
fuck me. Can anyone smell sulfur? Because it sounds like, I feel like hell's just opening up and saying, come on guys, just fucking pile in.
You're halfway there.
Leave it out, guys.
So,
we basically all clubbed together and just paid all of her expenses for the hospital. She recovered fully.
Fucking hell.
And then by the end of the trip, this all happened in 3 days, by the way.
I don't think I knew that you guys actually fronted the bill.
Yeah, we all got together, we all chipped in the money, paid the bill. And then the day she was due to leave the hospital was the same day we were flying out. So on the way to the airport, we dropped back to the hospital and just basically donated all of our luggage. So she has all of our clothes. We also bought some baby clothes from a nearby store for her 2 kids. Fuck ton of food, medicines, just everything. We just please take it all. You live in a cardboard box.
Jesus.
And now she still communicates with Save the Children, as far as I know, even though I've not been there for a couple of months, but
That's wild, man. Like,
Yeah.
That's surreal. Like that's the kind of shit that like. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Uganda was for just something like that. But it just feels like, but it's such a. I guess it would have been kind of uncomfortable, because to me I guess it would still come off as some kind of like tragedy tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this poor person. Holy
There we go.
They're getting fast.
He's got a motorbike now. No, it would have been that's such a common thing of, I'm using the most violent air quotes right now, celebrity figures to go to an impoverished area, be like, wow, this is so sad, cry. Anyway, I'm literally gonna go back to my hotel now. Bye.
Yeah, or like
It's that whole white savior thing. It's
Yeah.
just like you don't get it. You're this just privileged arsehole who's come here for a photo op.
And then
And sometimes it did feel like that.
and I'd come back and I'd be like, I know we did a good thing, but I still feel like a massive asshole for doing it. So you just rather do nothing and go la 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 la.
You have to kind of, for it to be authentic, you have to go there and not tell anyone. You can't. You'd be going there for the good reason and do the good thing, but like at the same time, you're trying to promote a cause, so you have to film it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a double-edged sword.
And also, and there was also this really strange line that I had to cross as a human being, because we had a photographer out there who he's Canadian, but he only ever photographs for NGOs, charities. He only does photography for charities. So he was just like completely on the ball, really switched on. He knew what was going on.
Non-greedy organisations.
That's the one. I was there as cinematographer, so I was also behind the camera in that capacity, but I've never done anything like this before. So I go out there, and we're in this hospital room, looking at newborn babies that have been born half an hour previously, and next to me, lying on a bed, is the mother giving birth to another child.
Jesus.
And I was just there with my camera, and they were just like, no, keep rolling.
Oh my god.
So where do I stop filming and start helping? There was also a woman started giving labour on the floor in the corridor, and they were saying to me, take photos, get footage. I was just like, she's bleeding. There were no nurses.
It's such a fucking uncomfortable thing that we're laughing because we're like, haha, oh my god.
Yeah,
like, we can't even like it's so unreal. Like just hearing about that stuff is that like you just go like, haha, that sounds fictional. Mm-hmm. But you've seen it, so holy shit.
Is it like a rule that you can't, I guess, intervene? Like you have to step back and.
It's not a nature documentary.
Yeah, that's more documentary. We were there as air quotes humanitarians. So Bethan was allowed to get involved, but
she delivered 17 babies.
She did. No, to her credit, she was remarkable. Like her interpersonal skills are very good. She went to comfort people who were crying. She went to comfort new mothers who were younger than her, that kind of thing. And it got to a point where I was just like, I had to be the fourth wall. I could not emotionally connect to any of these people because that would be of detriment to whatever we reported back. And what we were reporting back was obviously the important part, because if we don't tell anyone, how are people going to know about it?
It's a really interesting short film many years ago. I think it's called 10,000th of a Second.
Yes, the photographer.
Yeah,
the woman.
The war photographer, and that was a really great short film. And that's all about like someone in a horrible situation, and they're there to document, not intervene, and they wrestle with that. And I recommend it if you can watch it. I think it's called 10,000th of a Second.
Yeah, I think we both saw it because of uni.
Yeah,
because Mike Mason was talking about it.
It's like, uni. Yeah.
Where do you make the decision to not take the photograph and be a human, but then no one knows the terrible things that are going on, or you don't get yourself involved, take the photograph, and then the entire world knows about it. Like, sorry to get all sad and political, but like
this is gold. Keep rolling.
the Alan
try and cry.
The Alan Kurdi photograph, the little boy washed up on the beach.
Oh my god.
From a few months, last summer I think.
Yeah.
Like, was it tasteless to take that photograph because that was the body, the life of a 3-year-old boy? But it ignited a conversation that went global. Everyone knew about this refugee crisis. It started politicians talking. We are now taking on 20,000 refugees, which we were going to ignore prior to one photograph. And that's the impact that it had. If that person had decided it would be tasteless and wrong of me to take that photograph, there would be so many more people in danger.
It's all breaking, a few eggs to make an omelette thing. But I have a very, I have, a stance on that as well, in terms of, yes, like obviously that photograph is important. It's done amazing things, but my issue comes, I've talked about this a couple of times now, with the way that the image is shared around. That's where my issues jump in. Is when like I absolutely think we should be talking about issues like this and showing at particular moments, but when it like has popped up on my Facebook feed, this particular image of this
Yeah,
drowned
this goes
child,
into your shock sharing.
it's like, oh, that's absolutely horrific, and that's not going to change anything. Like, I'm not a politician. I'm not about to go run to a beach and try and scoop up as many refugees as I can. This is just fucking ruined my day, and so it's like, yeah, I think we should be taking that, but it's all about getting into the right hands and being shared in the right responsible ways. But then of course there's the debate of will mainstream media share it if it's owned by the government, and it's a fucking mess. Eddie, you were trying to say something.
That's right. Okay.
You inhaled.
well, you have to say it now.
I think it's also that particular image is quite, I'd say, very poignant, because there was like the turnaround in attitude with it as well. Because prior to that moment, the refugees were, I forget how they were referred to. They were referred to as
they were economical migrants.
Yeah, migrants.
Why, no, I thought it was
like they had a choice.
One of the words was like vermin or something.
Yeah, it was like an invasion, and we should send the army and stuff like that. So they were treated as like
they were just completely
this
dehumanized.
They were. That was totally it. Yeah, they were humanized, and they were just treated like a pest that everyone had to be very cautious about and very like sternly against. And then then it becomes human. There's a dead child. And suddenly there's this immediate turnaround. Every newspaper that was saying send in the army are now saying, oh my God,
how could this happen?
There are children dying. We have to help them. Why aren't we helping them already?
Why is the government not in power not helping them? Probably.
And that I think that turned around people's attitudes like almost overnight. Like, and then it's just very interesting the way media had to bounce back off public opinion.
I fucking hate getting older, because you just become more aware of how incredibly contrived and gross all politics are, and how they just like manipulate issues. And it was like that. I mean, like, I guess the first time I realized something it was when Michael Jackson died, and everyone went from being like, oh, gross pedo to what inspiration. And the same with this. It's like they'll be like, oh, send them all home. Why is the government not doing anything about killing all these migrants? And then it'll be like, oh, let them in. Why is the government not doing about all these migrants? And it's just, it's so fucking nerve-wracking. I hate being more aware. Ignorance really was bliss. Can I go back to just the most economically aggravating thing to me being that the Beano had gone up by 5p. That was a good time. Oh my God. So we've talked about some fun issues so far.
Yes.
We've talked about Uganda, Syrian refugees, Eddsworld. But like not the fun way, like not like cartoons, more like in the I want to die kind of way. So
the theme is responsibility.
Yep. Today's episode is brought to you by
Uncle Ben.
Like what? Like the source, or like just Spider-Man's dead uncle?
Both.
With great power comes rice. Very nice.
That's very nice.
That's very nice.
Good. Okay, let's talk about something cheery now, because
I could talk about my new job.
Oh yes, please, for the love of fuck.
So I saved the child, and then I got to leave. It was a contractual thing. It wasn't. Don't look into that. And now I have a new job, and now I'm legitimately an illustrator. Some people say, "What do you do?" I don't have to say I do other stuff, but I draw on the side. Now I'm just a straight up illustrator.
Just like us. We're living the dream, Chloe.
We are.
Should we do a podcast high five?
Yes. They'll never know. It's just Foley.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fucking nightmare to compress.
Let's do an actual high five. Yeah.
Don't fucking touch me. So, you're the thing you're doing now. It's for a YouTube channel.
It is. It's called Celebrity Draw My Life, but they don't have a custom URL as far as I know. So just search it or don't. Up to you. And it has 600,000 subscribers.
How do they not have a custom URL? It's so easy to get a custom URL. All you have to do is register a domain name, and then prove that you have that domain name, and then you can get a custom URL.
Easy.
I had a really traumatic experience with that, because I set up a gaming channel as a literal joke, and I don't know why I committed to it so hard.
It's got the equipment and everything.
But that was a separate thing. That was very drunk. Like when I got that Men in This t-shirt. But no, I wanted to set up this gaming channel called Video Gaze as a reference to an older video of mine, and I set up this YouTube channel. I couldn't get it. It said like you need a URL to get the YouTube channel, so I registered videogaze.com, and then went, okay, I have videogaze.com. Please let me name my YouTube channel this. And YouTube goes, all right, cool. YouTube.com/videogaze. Now, lots of people might have the URL Video Gaze. Please customize it. No one had Video Gaze. And so it just made me arbitrarily add one extra character to the end of the URL. So I could have like video gays. So after punching a hole in someone, what we then did is when I went and registered videogay.com. These are things I had spent money on this, but I was in too deep now to back out. So I registered videogay.com, and then when it said arbitrarily said add an extra digit, I added an S, and then I got youtube.com/videogays. Why the fuck did I do this? I will never know, but I can start a gaming channel anytime now and horrendously offend everyone, even though one of my upcoming vlogs is called No Gaming Channel, and it's about why I never want a gaming channel. I really hate myself.
We had the direct debit come through to auto-renew that domain name, so we should probably stop that.
Yeah, you can let it go, because now that I have the channel, it's not like they're going to revoke the username.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, so Chloe works for Celebrity Draw My Life.
I technically have 600,000 subscribers. They're mine.
Yep.
They're not the MCNs.
Put down the knife, Chloe.
You have it.
Yeah, I know. It was just a dramatic effect. Ignore the fact that I'm actually holding the knife.
There is a knife.
And what happens on Celebrity Draw My Life?
I draw celebrities, and we get people in the office to do the voices of the celebrities. Today, I was Amy Schumer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's hear your Amy Schumer then.
No.
And who are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm drawing a trailer. There's no channel trailer, so I need to do that. But I'm also drawing Meghan Trainor.
That's what I thought you just done. I thought you just mispronounced Meghan Trainor. I'm
No.
drawing a trailer.
No.
I thought you were drawing like a caravan, like a trailer, like the life of a caravan.
That too.
Right.
They're famous, Eddie.
Meghan Trainor.
I'll go back to my
Meghan
trailer. Trailer, yes.
No, I'm drawing an actual channel trailer and also Meghan Trainor.
Can you draw Meghan Trainor's trailer? Can you draw Meghan Trainor's trainer's trailer? Can you draw a trailer for Meghan Trainor's trainer's trailer?
I could if you say it slower.
A trailer for Meghan Trainor's trainer's trailer. It's her personal it's where her personal trainer lives.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the shoes.
Oh, I mean, you could also draw.
Now we're there.
Right, let me get a pen.
Yep.
Her trainer's trailer.
And you have to draw like a bunch of them a day, don't you?
Yes. 2.
That's a
That's
lot.
a whole bunch
when
right there.
I first started, I didn't understand the pacing, so I did 2 videos in 2 days. So like all the drawings for one video I just completed in a day, and they're like, oh, everyone usually takes a week. So okay.
Whoops.
So now I've just deliberately slowed down, adding more detail, and it's about, if you know what A2 looks like in terms of a paper size. It's a poster. I colour in, like, there's no white left by the end. An A2 sized whiteboard with whiteboard pens. Do 2 of those a day.
How many fucking pens do you burn through?
A lot.
Yeah.
They have a pen budget.
Sounds like a massively inefficient system.
And so you're
Have they not heard of Photoshop or
or Flash or Animate?
It's a good program.
But you have to. So you're drawing and you're being filmed while you're drawing it.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever accidentally swished your arm and wiped a section by mistake and stuff?
No, luckily, because they told me not to when I started. They're like, don't do these things that the other illustrators did.
So how far do you have to lean in, because you've got to have to stretch your arm out or something?
There's a lot of holding a pen right by the end, and then just holding my arm really
I
straight.
could never do this as a left-handed person. I would fuck everything up.
Same.
Yeah.
As a left-handed person with a chubby arm as well, it's like.
Well, I have to get used to starting on the left-hand side of the board and then working across, because I started drawing on the right and it's like, you can't see what I'm doing, but trust me, it's funny. But yeah, having to go across, so I've had to basically reverse the way that I usually draw. And also, my arm is constantly hovering. I'm never resting it on the table ever. It's just hover arm.
Right. Get yourself a harness or something.
I should. That'd be good. I'd like
That's
that.
when you're a professional illustrator, when you start getting RSI as well. Okay, so that's what you're doing these days.
That is what I'm doing these days. Voicing stuff, drawing stuff, and then my own YouTube channel.
Hey, which again
And
is
painting
Scarf
stuff.
Demon. Scarf Demon, a channel which I did a really good job of promoting in my small YouTubers video.
Piece of shit.
It's not my fault. Look,
It can only be your fault.
I cut and pasted your name and then didn't do the second part. Oh man, I feel so bad about that. That video did really well. All the people got loads of subscribers. Actually, they didn't, to be honest. Some of them didn't. The people who were harder sells, like Neefsy, he talks about things and he's got a beard. It was I couldn't. There was no hook, so it was harder to. Celebrity Draw My Life would be a really easy channel. It's like a little hook.
I don't want you to push that one.
Yep,
Scuzzy.
that's true. But yeah, so I'm like, Chloe, she's my friend. She vlogs and
I paint.
she vlogs about. Oh, she paints. Oh, actually, that's a good point. She paints about things.
And I did a music video about a dog.
Well, I was kind of thinking it'd be kind of fun to like do a thing where I go, like at the end of some vlogs again, like start pushing random channels and being like, hey, go check this person out, blah blah blah. Yeah. I need to. Oh yeah, we need to that painting project as well.
Yes.
You
Or you
and
could just
your-
cast me as a lead in one of your sketch comedies, comedy
I don't
sketches.
understand. Well,
You
yeah,
could
I mean,
just do that.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm also an actress.
oh, Chloe's Chloe, stop
For all
trying.
you agents out there.
Chloe,
Chloe, put down the screenplay.
stop
Chloe.
ramming your business card into the fucking microphone. So what's happened? What else has happened since we last did a pod? This is the catch-up episode. So
Well, I moved house.
you moved house.
I moved.
Oh my gosh!
You may
How many sketches have we
Oh my
filmed in
God,
your
I
house?
moved house.
like people who may have subscribed to the TurboPals for a long time may have been hearing about my woes about trying to sell the flat, but I did it, and I live in a house now.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
how many sketches have been filmed in your house already?
2,
I filmed 2.
excluding shark stuff. It would be the 2 we filmed for you.
Yeah.
So
Shoot
people-
Your Problems Away and
Bite me.
Bite Me. Yeah.
So if you were to study very closely, most of 99% of Shoot Your Problems Away.
Every room in your house except like the guest toilet has been filmed.
And if you kind of put those 2 videos together, you can have an entire blueprint of my house. Should you want to rob it? Just
That's
head-
fair. That's fair.
And there's a lot of amiibos to rob. So
How many viewers do you have now?
Oh, I 55, 56, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You got a real issue, man.
As of Tom Scott's day out, you had like 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got more.
Yeah, that's bad. You're a bad man.
I'm just doing it to get all the Smash Brothers range. That's the only one I'm
I hate when you complete the
completing.
set. Your virginity is reinstated. It's the only way.
But do you know what's bullshit though? They're releasing a second Rob,
What?
and the second Rob is in the Famicom colors, which are the Japanese. The Japanese is NES. So I was thinking, oh, okay, so it's just an alternative color of Rob. So that's if you want a different color Rob. But then they've actually numbered it
Oh my god.
differently.
No.
So to have a complete collection,
It has to be a bit ugly.
Yeah, I have to have a Rob on a different section to the other Rob.
That's fucked, and you know if they do it once, they're going to do it again.
Well,
You're going to get Pikachu with a hat. You get Pink Yoshi amiibo.
get the American Mario.
Oh my god. That'd be great. If there was a pink Captain Falcon, I'd be pretty about that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Like that'd be really cool. Like Nintendo, like if they offered, like custom amiibo maker where you could like choose different colors and stuff, like, and it would just ship it. And I don't care if it would cost like 50 fucking quid. I'd love to get my custom Color Fox amiibo.
There's enough people out there who paint
I
the
know.
amiibos like custom colors, so you can probably reach out and find. Is it the wolf? The grey?
Yeah, grey and purple.
Yeah.
Lilac Fox, I think. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be very nice.
Very nice.
Okay, so, and I haven't moved, but I have completely refurbished my house since because when I moved in, I hadn't really begun refurbishing my house at all. So now I have, and I'm just kind of furnishing it now, which is cool.
It's almost done.
It
Getting
is
your
almost
artwork
done.
in.
Yeah, buying loads of artwork, getting it framed. Just bought a new piece. It's lovely. It's very Frank Sinatra-y. My house is nothing like me or my office. My office is all colourful and posters and fucking toys and shit. My house is like fine art and American walnut wood and
I'm an
Antiques.
adult.
Antique medicine cabinet.
I did actually no, it's antique style medicine cabinet. But yeah, my house is super like pretentious, and the kind of, except for the fact that like what's on all the shelves is like comic books, DVDs, video games. Like, the furniture, it looks like someone gave a child free roam to put everything on.
It's like in the movie Big, what
Yeah.
Tom Hanks' apartment looked like.
Yeah, so but ultimately, I like my house. I guess I've kind of always had this dream that I could, I could have someone round and they'd have no idea what the fuck I do. They'd be like, "Wow, I guess you're like an investment banker." And I'd be like, "Yes," and I'd take a puff out of like one of those bubble pipes. Yeah. Okay. I guess one of the biggest things though for me in the past year, like one of the only really big achievements is Crash Zoom. Finally getting that, finally launching, because that was in production as of the last TurboPals, but it's finally out, and that's amazing, and I'm really, really excited because it's what I describe as my creative tantrum. It's just whatever the fuck I want. And we're writing this episode right now, which is completely different to all the rest, because the whole point is I want to try new things. I don't know how I don't want to lock the show into a particular style yet. I mean, Eddsworld took about 4 years before it actually became the Eddsworld that people knew and liked. Because I describe Eddsworld as having three 4-year waves. There's wave 1, which is 2004-ish to 2007, which is kind of the very amateur-y Eddsworld. It's pre-jingle. It's the characters keep changing colors and stuff,
and voices sometimes.
Yeah, and voices, and then there's I guess what's golden era Eddsworld, which is 2008 to 2012, which is kind of like 2008 to 2011, which is kind of like where that's actually where Tord leaves. But it's all kind of locked in. We've got a pattern. We stopped breaching copyright law.
The biggest episodes I think came out that period. So like What the Future and Hammer and Fail,
Spares, Hammer and Fail, and then there's the third wave, which is Eddsworld Legacy, which is debatably also fine, but obviously not quite the same for a number of reasons. But yeah, like with Crashing, we are still in potentially that first wave, and I have a first wave plan, which is a 2-3 year plan of just I'm gonna make my show and hopefully people like it, and if they don't like it, I don't really give a shit. I'm making the show for me because I want to make it. I'm working with some of my best friends to create it, and I'm just really happy with it. But this next episode we're working on, we're just trying to introduce a new character or a foreshadowed character, and but it's like so dialogue-y. It's actually a conversational episode, which is not what the rest are like. They're all like, here's the thing, oh fuck, there's an explosion, whoa. and I'm trying to just I'm slowing it down and see like if I like it, if people like it, how people feel about it, and yeah. But that's like kind of the biggest thing for me is that, and which I now am unable to do because I'm distracted by Eddsworld. But hey,
but I like Crash Zoom because it's like made out of spite, like almost like I don't care that like almost like that by the numbers it shouldn't work, or like it's not profitable or anything like that.
It's not profitable. Like
it's just you're doing it because god damn it, we need cartoons. Like we need cartoons on YouTube, and we might as well just take the hit, and just so that we keep the genre alive in some form.
I wouldn't say my reasoning is as selfless as that, but it is true that Crashing runs me a massive loss. It makes back about a third of what it costs to make. If that, but I'm just really proud of it, and it's just I'd be happy to run the loss for the creative satisfaction I get, because with Eddsworld, say I get no creative satisfaction from that. I'm denied that because it's not my show. I get thousands of people telling me that that it's shitty or that it's bad or that I should be ashamed, blah blah blah. I try not to let that get to me, but it does get to me. So with Crashing though, it's like I know it's ours. Like we don't have to compromise, and as of yet, and I guess it shows that there isn't quite a fandom for it yet. But no one's complaining, and that's lovely. Maybe yes, it only gets a couple thousand people interact with it, but those people actually like it. I'd rather have less views, but those views are people who like it, than like what happens kind of with Eddsworld, where you got a lot of people showing up just to it feels like just to complain. I know they're just passionate, but some of these people that are complaining are fucking 16 years old, which means they were 12 when we lost Ed.
Well, I guess it's also to be told we're wrong. No, this wouldn't have, this shouldn't happen. This isn't right. Not kind of forgetting the fact that you've been like the creative driving force for years and years.
One of them, yeah.
Well before sort of Ed passed away, you were well involved in the show. Like the example you brought up the other day with Ruined, where you were credited, your co-writer's credit was Tom's lines by Tom.
Because Ed had such an issue with admitting that I was actually involved in Eddsworld. The first thing I wrote outright was Tom's Tales are Awesome, and infamously the description of that video was made by me, written by Ed, and it's like, cool Ed, cool man, okay. But that was kind of what it was like, and that was kind of fine because I was working on my own shit as well. Astor's Movie 2 is animated by Ed and it doesn't say made by Ed and Tom, so we were providing things for each other's channels, and that was okay. I think only twice in my life did I ever ask Ed for a bit of money for my involvement in Eddsworld, and even then that was when I'm at a point in my life where I probably invested hundreds of hours in it, and I was just like, can I just get fucking 20 quid, man, for a pizza, for fuck's sake. And that was the only time in my life I've ever actually made money off Eddsworld, because as soon as we lost Ed, I was like, yeah, I'll pay myself a wage, and then immediately was like, I don't want to pay myself a wage.
Yeah. But I think yeah, so you're, to be told we're we're wrong on a varying amount of reasons. Like the animation is wrong, or the writing is wrong, or the voices are wrong, or whatever it is wrong.
What really pissed me off, like, was I mean, yeah, Chloe, like, we have some people being like, oh, the writing is shit in this show now. It used to be so good, and I jumped back to a Wave 1 episode, Hello Hellhole, and the plot is fucking wild. Like the first minute is they want to watch a movie, Insane Zombie Pirates from Hell and That's 3, and then they put in the TV, but the TV explodes. Why does the TV explode? Who the fuck knows? and then out of like fucking nowhere, it's like, well, what do we do now? Let's go to hell. How do we get to hell? Then they literally go to the computer and Google it. Like you see Google in full, and then they just click a button, and then they go to fucking hell. And in hell, they look at their personal hells, and then leave. That's it. That's the plot. There's no conflict. Like if I were to write the episode, it would be like, okay, they go to hell, and they go to hell to retrieve the soul of their TV so they can finish watching their movie, or at least they go to hell and then there's some kind of conflict and they now can't get out of hell and they have to try and get out of hell. No, fuck that. They go to hell and then they leave.
Yeah.
And that was
better.
Yeah, and those are the good days. It's like they are charming and they are fun and we loved making them, but like it's not better. Just like as a thing, and the fact is like Eddsworld got ripped to shreds whenever it came out. I coined the term post-upload depression, watching Ed getting so depressed every time an Eddsworld episode came out. Ed had this Michael Jackson effect where like everyone was like, Eddsworld is shit and overrated, blah, and then he died and it was like, what an inspiration to us all. And he became untouchable, and that's just a weird.
That's what I mean. Like we're always living in that shadow that we can never escape from. So it's Crash Zoom this is our thing. We can't be told we're wrong about this. Even though it's us. It's the same writing team and sort of the creative force behind it. Like this is our thing, and we know we're doing good with this. So that's kind of the freedom with Crash Zoom is because it's a lot more hours.
Yeah, and the fact is as well, like I think not everyone who's criticizing us with Eddsworld is an asshole. Like in fact, quite a lot of people have they have valid criticisms,
of course,
and stuff. But those people typically when they're watching Crash Zoom, they're like, I can enjoy this because it's not Eddsworld, and that's a fair criticism because they don't like it when I make Eddsworld to me, air quotes, which is fast paced and random and morbid. But with Crash Zoom, that is ours, so we can do exactly what we want with it, and that's nice. And with Eddsworld, we try our best to replicate what Ed would have done. The truth is, we don't really fucking know what Ed would have done half the time because Ed just did random shit. Like Ed, some of the humor from Ed's jokes would be that he'd forget the joke halfway through writing it, and then put it out, and he'd be like, "That wasn't the punchline." What?
Yeah.
There's so many comics and there's so many gags in Eddsworld that like don't actually make sense because Ed forgot because he never wrote anything down. What the fuck? There's one comic where it's like. Tom was like, I'm gonna go get a takeout from the chip shop, and he walks up to the chip shop and just yells at it, "Can I have some chips, please?" And then the chip shop's like, "You didn't say please." No, like, "Can I have some chips?" You didn't say please. And it's like that doesn't make any fucking sense because the original joke was, it was like something like I'm gonna go ask the chip shop for some. I'm gonna go ask the chip shop for some chips or something. It was like, but I can't even explain it, but like the fact is it didn't make any sense. And then there's a huge one in the actual show, and I'm trying to remember it, where like it was just like that's not a joke anymore. You've removed the joke. What is it?
Well,
someone else talk. I need to think.
I'm just really looking forward to all of this appearing on the Eddsworld wiki.
Because it does. Like everything we talk about winds up on the Eddsworld wiki.
It's crazy. Yeah.
No, please talk about the Eddsworld wiki, Chloe.
No, I was just about to say, like, I always check rather vainly back to see if there's like any weird insights that they've got about like me or Alice, or like any of the other like semi-casts. And there's nothing. There's no weird trivia that someone's picked. And it's like you're not trying hard enough because I've been background vocals for Christmas Demolition. I was Matt's mum, and they've just ignored it. I was just like, oh, you're not that great, are you? I love it. It's such a read because it's written with such
conviction.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They really believe the things that they say, even when it's like sheer speculation.
Like I mean, there's one bit that's just like, in the end part 2, Laurel Adam will be appearing as Laurel, and it's like, that's not even Laurel's fucking name. That's not even her name. Like, her name was... Oh, I'm not even gonna say it. I don't want to help them. But it's like, her name will be in the credits of the one episode she's in, and it's stuff like that. And it's like, Eager Raptor will definitely be appearing in this episode, and the release dates were announced by Tom to a secret message from Matt, which we have no evidence of, but it totally happened, you guys, and that's just on the end. It's beautiful. I love it, and it's super charming, and it's nice because, you know, I guess it kind of feels like, you know, those are the people we're really making the episodes for, is the people that care enough to write a fucking wiki about it.
The people who notice all the references, they genuinely do impress me, because you like there's something like, for Fun Dead, Paul told me the number, there's something like 62 references in the background, and someone found them all, and he was convinced that they wouldn't. He was saying to me, back when he lived with me, he was sort of saying, they're not going to find them. There's too many. I've been too good at hiding all these amazing references, and people found them.
What's wild, though, is that not only did they found those 62 references, they found 10 more we didn't even fucking put in there. I think the person who was really good at spotting the references has stopped doing the Eddsworld Wiki now, because they've definitely slowed down. Like, I remember when we put out, like, Snoga, it was, like, within 10 minutes, like, most of the references have been found and put on the Wikia, and I think that person has left now. And is doing anything with them.
So it's a lot more ripe for... It's more like speculative stuff in there, rather than lots of Easter egg finding and stuff. So.
Yeah, like, I know that, like, half the Easter eggs in the end part, in Lunatics, have not yet been found. Like, everyone's like, there are 2. It is Bratty and Catty, and one other thing, and there's not... Yeah, there's... Yeah.
I think one thing, sort of... Turning the wheel back, like the point about making this stuff for Ed, like what Ed would have done. I think the thing is also, one thing that I kind of went into Eddsworld was I didn't want to do like just do fan service stuff. Like,
not that we don't do a healthy amount, though.
No, I mean, of course we throw that stuff in, but it's more like a background thing. But it's not the whole arc of the story. I say this with the end in mind, which is an entirely fan servicey episode.
Yeah.
But everything I've done, I've always felt I just want them to be good. I just want to write them to the best of my ability to be funny and good, and like not too pressured about what Ed would have done per se. Just like
that's more my job, I think.
What makes this funny? What makes this good? What makes this an interesting situation? What makes these interesting characters? That was more important to me. Just make these episodes good in their own right without being bogged down by the fan service, and just and something to be proud of.
What
later.
People kind of forget, though, is that Eddsworld was fucking evolving the entire time it was happening. You know, if you compare an episode from 2008 to an episode from 2012 or 2007 to 2011 specifically, like, you'll see it's like, wow, that changed so much over those years. You know, the character design changed, the pacing changed, the writing changed. Because by, you know, the time we lost Ed, I was already writing most of the episodes, and he was taking care of the animation stuff. And so it's like, it's not like the moment that Ed died we were going to just immediately like put a cap on any advancements. So like, it was, the pacing was always kind of changing, the art style was always evolving. I was always trying to pressure Ed. I was the only person pressuring Ed to change the art style. Like, otherwise he was very happy just to like literally draw it in all in one pass, and that was fine. You know, that's what he could do. But he wanted to be better, so it was like I'd teach him how to do things like sizzle the animation, and which is like where the lines don't feel so flat and they're actually like pulsating a bit and stuff. And it was always changing. The music was getting more cinematic, and the writing was getting a little bit more structured. And I mean, look at Space Face. Like, everyone loved Space Face, and they're like, that was the last good episode Ed did. And it's like, bitch, I wrote that episode in full. Like,
and on your own.
And entirely on my own, yeah. So it's like, and it's like, I mean, this is literally, because this is why this is what I meant, like, at the start of this recording, which is that I can't write anything else right now because Eddsworld has taken over my brain, and I freak out about it at the office, and then I go home and I sink into a massive sad every day because I'm exhausted, like emotionally exhausted, because like right now this is the fucking big one.
Yeah,
you know,
like I'm the same. I go home and I'm bouncing emails back and forth for various like legacy things and the perk stuff and stuff like that, like trying to keep that all on top of. So because there's the goal, there's the end line, so we know like we're gonna get there. We just got to power through it, and so I'm like staying up till silly o'clock and then coming to work tired just to do it all over again. Like, I even had to, like, yesterday purposely say, no, I'm going to turn off my Mac, I'm going to play Metal Gear 5, and I'm going to actually relax this evening because I've been working for like 48 hours straight.
Jeebus.
Yeah, it's not good. We're kind of addicted, and it's going to be nice to finish this obligation that I put on ourselves. This was never an obligation that Ed put on me. I put it on myself. Ed he was like, obviously he kind of wanted the show to go, and I promised that I would keep it going for another year, and here we are 4 years later, and I think I've earned a nap. But that's a podcast for another day. I think we'll be able to talk more about the future in maybe a few weeks. But gosh, okay, Chloe,
Me.
please pick us a topic of conversation to have.
Why did you gesture my phone? We can talk about my phone. I
We
got a
can.
new phone. That's one of my updates.
I'm so fucking proud of you. You had an iPhone 3G for how many years?
Only 3, but before that
And
I
how
had...
many years? And how many years of those was the iPhone 3 outdated to shit?
Oh, all of them.
Absolutely all of them.
But it's my phone before that. That's impressive. I had that for 9 years.
Oh, my God. Oh yeah, it was like a Nokia thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was indestructible to its credit, but
Well, except it didn't buzz or anything. So if I called you,
no,
wouldn't
that
notice.
was my most recent phone.
Oh really?
Yeah, the 3G.
I thought it was if it was plugged in, your old phone wouldn't even.
No, just that it was very weak. It was.
God,
it
this
went.
is a riot. That was nice.
That's,
The face you made was really the treat.
and that's the
There.
thumbnail. It's not.
But yes, Chloe, let's pick a last topic of conversation because
Don't put this on me.
this has been all Eddsworld because that's all I'm going to do.
This is all we can think about right now.
Okay, Star Wars.
Oh my God, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Okay, so this episode is going to be called Eddsworld, Dying Children, More Eddsworld, and Star Wars.
My favourite bit of Star Wars was...
your
Spoiler alert.
Your favourite bit of Star Wars?
My favourite bit of Star Wars was when Eddsworld is going... Oh, shit, I'm doing it!
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I guess we're going to hella spoiler alert.
Really?
For
Are we
Star
doing
Wars?
this?
Yeah, let's talk about Star Wars. Fuck it. If you haven't seen Star Wars: The Force Awakens or any Star Wars, spoiler alert. So, Star Wars.
Yes.
What did everyone think about The Force Awakens? I don't know if I've actually talked to you properly about The Force Awakens, Chloe.
I don't think we have. No, we've been too busy watching.
Yes,
the other
after
3.
watching The Force Awakens once, I went back and watched... Well, Chloe and I went back and watched the original trilogy,
We did.
4, 5, and 6.
It's enjoyable.
It is.
I saw Force Awakens on midnight on the day it was released, which was awesome. And I just came from a work party. It was like Christmas. I came from a Christmas work party, and they'd all been drinking. They're like, Chloe, stay out and drink. And I was like, Star Wars. So
More important, you bunch of sexually active adults. Well, I saw it at the premiere, so
I know.
Fuck you.
I know you.
And I saw Carrie Fisher's dog try to eat BB-8, and it was a fucking experience.
The dog.
And Eddie, you've seen it? Of
I have
course,
too also seen it in a cinema.
in a cinema.
Cinema.
I think I had to see it in 3D, which was distracting, so I saw it a second time, not in 3D.
I did that in Guardians. Did you have the 3D glasses that can turn themselves off?
No, I wish I had, because I wear glasses, which means that 3D glasses are a fucking nightmare.
True.
Unless I'm wearing contacts, which I haven't done for like 2 years.
When we went to Guardians of the Galaxy, like for the first half hour, I was like, this is really bad quality. Why would they do this? It's the premiere. And then I realised that the 3D glasses could turn themselves off.
Oh.
They had to be activated, and the way you activated them was by looking over your left shoulder, middle, and then looking over your right shoulder and back to the middle. And that's how you turned them on.
Oh my God, I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
So people are like, Wimbledon tennis matches are going on and off all the time.
Then again, at Guardians of the Galaxy, we were also in the front fucking row, so it wasn't that
I wasn't.
great.
I didn't sit with you.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
No.
You just, yeah.
I just snuck in because I'd come from like
Yeah, you look
another
mental.
work party.
You came from a work party and you were.
It was a
dressed,
fancy dress work party, and I was dressed as a hippie.
And then it was like, oh Chloe, do you want to come fucking see Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, and also we're gonna walk the red carpet, and you are dressed like an absolute twat. It was.
I had
fucking ridiculous.
flowers painted on my face. I had all sorts of foliage in my hair. I was wearing like shorts and flip flops.
And that was the most I ever spent on a red carpet. And I was stood next to Mark Hamill for a point, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I've been like, I can't wait to not see you in The Force Awakens.
I accidentally got a selfie with One of the Hemsworths.
Yes, you did, yeah.
He was just
But
there.
yeah, and I went into the Guardians of the Galaxy being like, I don't know what to expect, and I came out like, oh shit, that was awesome. And then Jack Howard was like, it wasn't very good, and I was like, fuck you, Jack Howard.
I've actually not seen it since. I probably should.
I have it on Blu-ray, so we should totes watch it sometime.
Movie night.
But anyway, Star Wars. So yeah, so we recently rewatched the original movies, and my god, the one thing I really learned rewatching the originals is that we are so much more critical of movies now. Like, if the Star Wars original movies came out now, they would fantastic for it. Like, they are really quite weakly written movies. Like, I mean, they're great and they're classic and stuff. Maybe it was just the fact that I was watching those stupid fucking George Lucas cuts that made me so angry and extra critical. You know, like, oh, I'm really enjoying this movie. Oh, there's an alien, there's a CGI alien literally screaming at me for no fucking reason. Fuck you. But yeah, like there is a lot of like just there's so many like plot holes and Deus Ex Machinas and just like shit happening. Like Luke's just a Jedi Knight in the third one. When does that happen? We see him do like 3 push-ups in the previous film, and now he's a Jedi Knight. Oh, okay. Wicked. And
but also like he somehow got a reputation for himself in the time that Han Solo's been frozen, because it's like, oh, there's one Jedi left. It's like, how did you hear about him? He went into training yesterday.
And who did he go into training with? Because it's implied that he hasn't seen Yoda since. Oh my god. And then fucking Hayden Christensen shows up at the end, and they have the Gungans. Oh, fuck that. Fuck you, George Lucas.
So free.
We so free. I stepped in the poopy.
Now you so blown up.
Spoilers. Yeah. So like, you know, like I didn't rag on the new Star Wars when it came out straight away. I had to watch it a second time before I started ragging on it. But my criticism was like there were a few points where it's like that felt like a bit rushed and that didn't feel explained well enough, and I'd like to like had a bit more of an explanation for this. But then I watched like the original trilogy and I'm like, fuck, they don't explain shit. They're just like, yeah, he's a fucking Jedi now, and who gives a shit? C-3PO, he's I don't know.
That's what the crawling text is for.
Oh, fuck the crawling text. Laziest thing. Like, it's like, what purpose did it serve in Return of the Jedi to be like, meanwhile, the Empire has started building a new Death Star. We find out about that very early on in the movie. Like,
it's the first shot.
Like, couldn't they just been like, oh, there it is. Like, why do you need to tell us? It was like, it's like those fucking, like, those magazines that tell you what's going to happen in this week's episode of EastEnders. And it's like, we're going to warn you so you don't have a heart attack and sue us when you're so surprised that Phil still has a tiny face. Like, just let us discover it. Like, it's stylistic, but that doesn't mean it's good. Like, but
what's to say with people who watch like all the fan theory stuff and all the speculation like intensely before a film's out, like Civil War, for example.
We're just slagging off Elliot now.
Yeah,
he's not here, so we're going to talk shit about how he watches.
What a piece of shit.
He watches every trailer, every teaser, every fan theory. God damn.
I mean, that's fine. Like, obviously, he likes watching movies that way, and that's okay. He says, I personally could never do that. I would maybe see the first trailer and then actively avoid everything else. So just to I go into a cinema as kind of as pure an experience as possible. Because like, especially comedy films like Lego Movie, like it spoils, like they tend to spoil the jokes,
the currency of the movie, which is the jokes. Yeah, my theory though with people like Elliot who watch all of every single fan theory, every single trailer, is that by the time they go into the movie, they are still just as ignorant as someone who's watched nothing, because they have consumed so many theories that most of them can't be right.
Yeah.
So they'll be pleasantly surprised by which ones show up anyway.
They're going with that one.
Because I watched a bunch of the theories for Age of Ultron with Elliot, and they were all fucking wrong, and it was wild. And even the ones for The Force Awakens, and they were all just wrong. And that was nice. So, yeah, I guess it's not that dangerous.
I like the stuff that, like, sometimes analyzes trailers, and it's like, did you see in that shot? It's like, oh yeah, there is a thing in that shot, you know. Whether that pans or anything, whatever. But, like, yeah, sometimes that's fascinating. That's quite interesting.
I like analysis after the fact. I'm really big into Harry Potter fan theories at the moment. It's like, that series is done. Well, that series was done until it wasn't done. But yeah, like, the way people read into the existing text and somehow manage
Yeah.
to create even more information. Is
Wow, look at all these gays. I didn't know these were in the book. That's what I do with Assassin's Creed. Like when I used to play like all the Assassin's Creed games until I just could. There's a lot. Like I would finish an Assassin's Creed game and then I would spend probably 2 days reading every single thing on the Wikia, which I could not possibly have caught. Like if I'd picked up every single pebble and
it gives you new context and new understanding of what's already there.
Yeah.
And a deeper appreciation of
Yeah.
the thing that you really like.
Basically, some other dickhead who's a bigger fan than you, who's got less of life, has done all the hard work for you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I enjoyed the thing, and now I get to appreciate the cool shit. I did none of the work. Ayy.
I've also gotten really bad at accepting headcanons.
Sure.
So pieces of stuff that's just outright made up and just like, yeah, that's part of the universe now.
Oh, well, I mean, there's a few headcanons I love, like, you know, the Pokemon War theory.
Yeah.
All the Pokemon Coma theory, both good.
What's the coma theory?
The Coma theory is that in the first episode of Pokemon, when Ash gets attacked by all the Spearows...
Oh, so in the animation series,
that
right?
he enters a coma, and everything after that is... Because, like, the first Pokemon are very real animals, and by the time you get to the now in the series, like, everything Ash, a child, doesn't understand, he has replaced with Pokemon. Like, he goes to a power station, it's fucking Pokemon. He's in a car, it's fucking Pokemon. He's on a boat, it's a Pokemon. Like, is anything a child wouldn't understand, he's turned into a Pokemon in his coma. Which is quite an interesting, like, it's the Wizard of Oz kind of theory. And then obviously the Pokemon War theory is that in the original games there's no adult men apart from really fat guys
and
who wouldn't have been listed as old guys, and there's only Lieutenant Surge who's like, my right, you help me fight in the war. So I mean, it's definitely canonically there is a war, but it's like, oh, and also the Ash, the Gary, the Gary Raticate death, as well. Basically, just like first gen Pokemon shit. Because there are no theories left for the new Pokemon, because it's just like, oh, that one's literally God. Oh, but this one's his God. So fuck your theories. Fuck your theories. We have Space Jesus Pokemon, and you've just caught him in a ball. Go fuck yourself, you actual deity.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other headcanon stuff I like. I like the Garfield one.
There's a Garfield.
There's a Garfield one. It's where there was a series. I think it was either Halloween or Christmas. I forget which one, but there was a series of comics where Garfield suddenly kind of wakes up and he's in an empty house, and it's a house that's clearly been empty for like ages because it's all falling apart.
This is an actual made one.
There's an actual canon comic.
Oh wow.
It's covered in cobwebs and stuff like that, and Garfield is freaking out because there's no one there. There's no John, there's no Odie. It's just him, and like I think it's written kind of like a poem, and like he's walking around and he's realizing that everyone's gone. It's empty. It's just an empty house, and he starts freaking out because he's lonely, and it's the one thing that he fears, being lonely. And then and this is in the comics, he kind of jams his eyes shut and like concentrates and wishes that everyone's back, and then he opens his eyes and they're just back. Like everyone is back. John's back, Odie's back, and like he has a bowl of food and he's fine. And so people have taken that little arc and said that...
How could you fucking not?
They've taken that arc and they said that Garfield is in fact a lonely cat in a house all by himself, slowly starving to death.
That makes me really sad.
And just
That's why
imagining
he's
everyone.
always hungry. Oh my, but the fact is
That's why he hates Mondays.
This is another day closer to death.
Or because he's stuck in a Monday. But it's like honestly though, like how could you not accept that? Because like they fucking made it.
Yeah.
Like what else are you supposed to be like? Nah.
Well, that's like...
It's meant to be...
that canonical thing is not canon.
It's meant to be more interpreted like it was like he had a nightmare and like he woke up from it. Like that's the way they played it off. It was like he kind of
It's more like he woke up and went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's so fucking grim. Well, I mean, it's like there was an Eddsworld. Oh my god, I'm back. There was this Eddsworld Halloween special that we never got to make. Because it kept getting shelved, year after year, and we were going to probably make it in 2012, but then it obviously had passed away. And it was this horrific Halloween special where, like, basically it was that like because what we'd realized is that Tom and like no one other than Tom for like the past 4 years in the show had ever interacted with Matt. Ever since Zombie Attack 1, when Matt died, no one had ever actually directly interacted with Matt, except for Tom. And what this episode was, it was Ed finally snapping and being like, Tom, Matt is dead. He's been gone. I wrote this, by the way. It's like, Tom, Matt is dead. He's been gone ever since, the zombie outbreak. He's not coming back. And it's like Tom realizing, these canonical facts that he's the only one who ever interacted with Matt. Like, no one ever talked to Matt. Like, look at fucking Hello Hellhole. Matt literally has one line and it's to himself. Like, he was not actually interacted with by anyone. And the idea is that eventually what would happen is after the whole episode, Tom finally accepts that Matt isn't a real person, and Matt's just in Tom's head, and subsequently Matt disappears. But then the twist at the end of the episode was going to be that Ed and Tom were walking, and it was going to be Ed and Tom were walking down this hallway together, and then the lights are getting the lights keep flickering, and then eventually Tom disappears as well, and as the lights keep flickering, Ed's character started to look more and more and more like the real world Ed, and then it would end with Ed getting to the end of this corridor, sitting down at his computer, and animating Eddsworld while muttering the character's lines to himself, and that was just going to be a Halloween special.
Right.
And it was so fucked up that Ed was like, but I was like, this is so good, we have to make it. So that would have been the thing, is that Eddsworld is just in Ed's head, and none of the characters or even the people they're based off are real.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
That's not dissimilar to. Do you know the Buffy one? It's Have you seen Buffy?
I've seen 3 seasons of it.
I haven't really seen Buffy at all, but go for it.
Okay, so in season 6, the big villain of the whole series are called, I don't remember, but they're basically
Volturi.
Yes, they're basically 3 nerds who just keep inventing new technologies, and they use it to just pick on Buffy essentially, because they're like, she's the Slayer, let's experiment on her, fun. And there was this one
so
episode.
It's very Cabin in the Woods.
No,
Shit.
not at all.
Go fuck yourself.
That's a great analogy, Tom.
Like in one episode, they turn her invisible. She's invisible for an episode.
Just like in Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that
you.
scene. And
there's an invisible force field.
It's not a person. And one of the experiments they do is they just start messing with her head. So she starts getting these images in her head that nothing's real, and that she's actually in an institution and just thinks that she's a vampire slayer. So they're like, ha ha ha, she thinks she's going mad, she thinks that this is all fiction, and they start approaching her in real life and saying, Buffy, we're not real, to themselves, being like, lol, 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 Buffy, we're not real. But the episode ends with an image of Buffy in the institution saying, I'm going back to my friends, and then she just clocks out, and all of the people, the doctors and her mum is there just watching her in her cell, just going, we've lost her, she's officially just completely withdrawn.
Imploded,
yeah, withdrawn into her own world. We're not getting her back. And the episode ends on that. And later on, after the whole series concluded, a good 3 or 4 seasons later, Joss Whedon said, I almost ended it there. I almost made that the last episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And it would have been harrowing, but it would have worked so well.
It was a dream all along.
Shut up,
Yeah.
Eddie. Yeah. That's, one of my favorite games, Second Sight, has an amazing twist, and I'll try not to spoil it if anyone does play it. It's a PlayStation 2 game. It's old as fuck, but basically the twist is that you think you're remembering the past for the entire game, but you are in the past and you're predicting the future. And that's kind of the big, and it's such a fucking mindfuck. It doesn't spoil too much, but you should play that game. It's so good. It makes me very cummy.
They'll put that on the back of the box in the HD remake.
Tom's cut, it makes me very cummy. Eddie, do you have a final favorite fan theory?
No, I feel like I peaked with Garfield, frankly.
Yeah, that is a pretty dope one.
There is a Harry Potter one. The Harry Potter is immortal one.
Oh.
It's pretty good. It's because of there is the prophecy that says one must die by the other's hand, or neither can live while the other survives is the prophecy, and that one of them will eventually have to kill the other. Mm-hmm. The theory goes that that's the only way they can die.
Oh.
Someone can Voldemort can only die if Harry kills him. Harry can only die if Voldemort kills him. So if Harry kills Voldemort, he's destroyed his only chance of death. So.
Right.
So he's alive forever, he's immortal, but he becomes the ultimate martyr, because all he wants, as you see through 7 whole fucking books, is to be back with his parents. through the Mirror of Erised, through everything else. He just wants to join his family, and he's now denied that because he had no choice but to kill the Dark Lord, and is now forever the boy who lived.
Oh shit! Can we fucking pick Harry Potter up like 100 years later in like a completely modernized world, but there's still wizards, and Harry Potter is just the Dumbledore because
I would love
because he can't fucking die, and it's like they've been further ostracized into society. You know, they've been outed since then, and like now they're like an underground rebellion group. That would be fucking cool. That's I just got why people write fan fiction. It's narcissism.
Cowboy Harry Potter.
Oh no.
Wizards in the West.
No, fuck off. I hate. No, I don't. No. It's not guns. I don't give a shit. Anyway, well, that's. I think we should call it a day there.
Yeah.
So back to Star Wars.
Anyway, Eddsworld.
Star Wars was good.
Star Wars is
Star
pretty
Wars is
good.
very
I like
good.
Star Wars. Deadpool, I think, was better. So, everyone, this has been the TurboPals podcast. We did it. We're back. Should we do this again?
I'd like to.
Cool, man. You have to edit them.
Have a nice time.
Thank you.
I don't want to.
Eddie, drop in just a random drum beat for no reason. Cool.
What's funny is I've literally never listened to a TurboPals podcast or any podcast ever by anyone ever.
Oh, so I can do whatever I want
no,
to
like
right now.
actually, like for all I know, I fucking
Inhaled some helium right now.
and I keep saying that I love penis. Penis.
Penis.
So
I have to make my own fun when I edit these.
okay, but yes. Good work, everyone. Round of applause for us.
Thanks, Eddie. And what's that one? Did the donkey get here?
Oh my god, everyone! Elliot's back.
Hello.
And now he's black.
Hello.
Yep.
That was really racist, Eddie.
Bye.
Bye.
What a great ending.
I love penis.